you rock, right? We all rock. Yeah, and sometimes, what's that?
Rock on.
Rock on, right? So I think, we hear that so often sometimes that maybe some of the meaning comes out of it. You're like, you rock. Yeah, that's right, I rock. And so I was thinking about it, Keller Williams is big on their acronyms. We've got an acronym for everything, right? And so what are some of the words that, when the next time somebody says, you rock, I'm like, well, do I? Or what does that mean? So what are some of the words that we could go into that kind of explain to us what you rock really is all about? So I came up with a couple that I thought were applicable. And so for the R, I have resilient. When I went to the great odds of Google to see what Google says the definitions of these words are. So resilient, able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. The other one was able to recoil or spring back into shape after bending, stretching, or being compressed. Right, so I think you're going to hear probably many stories today from the panelists that there's nobody here who has never fallen down, right? I think you learn from falling down, you get stronger from falling down, and I think that you'll hear from the panelists that probably a common theme will be that one of the reasons they're here today is because they fell down several times, but they're here because they kept getting back up again, right? And that's going to be something huge to take out of today. So, are you resilient? If you rock, are you resilient? The only time that you lose is when you don't get back up. For the other, came up with obligated. So, do you have an obligation who do you have an obligation to? I think people that rock have an obligation to themselves. They have an obligation to their business. They may have obligated themselves to family members, parents, children, whatever it is. But think about who you've committed to, who your obligation is, and for the very least, I hope that you can say, I'm obligated to myself and to what I've told myself I'm going to accomplish in this business. Here's a big one, and maybe the biggest reason we're here today. For C, we have coachable. Are you coachable? Capable of being easily taught and trained to do something better. Right? It's not always just about being trained to do it. Sometimes it's about being trained to do it a little bit better. I think one of the best ways that I can explain what a coach can do for you, I think I see new agents come in and they've got their internal hard drive and it's empty. There's nothing there. And they think that they have to have all the knowledge filled into that internal hard drive before they can go out there and start doing business. And I think the easiest way for me to kind of put that at ease a little bit is to say, you know what, it's all there. It might not be on your C drive, it might not be on that internal hard drive, it's all there, it's on an external drive. And that drive's sitting right there, and all you gotta do is plug into it and start downloading that information. But if you don't stay connected and stay plugged in, you don't get to get all that information. Coaches have been there, they've done that. One of the great things about coaching is some of us coached hundreds of people, we get to see what's working well, we get to see what's not working so well, and one of the things that we love to do is to share that information. And you get to model you don't have to make those mistakes sometimes that other people have made. Again, mistakes are not bad things, they're good things, we learn from them, but if we can avoid some of them because somebody saw it and said, hey, you might want to do it a little bit differently, that's what a coach does. You just have to stay connected. And then the last one, which I think is also extremely important, is kind. Of a sympathetic or helpful nature. I think that, I know at least for me getting into this business, is sometimes we have this, it's them against us. It's this team against that team. It's the buyer's team against the seller's team. We're trying to win. We're trying to beat them. We're trying to make them lose. And it's not about that at all. It's not about that at all, right? We have clients, we have buyers, we have sellers. The buyers want to sell their houses. The buyers want to buy their houses. The sellers want to sell their houses. Our job is to work together as a team and to help them accomplish that. It's not an us against them, it's an us for them type of situation. So just keep that in mind. No one client, no one transaction is worth your reputation in this business. And so be the level head in the room, be the kind person, help somebody out, remind somebody something needs to happen, right? Again, it's going to come back to you in the end. So even though it's the last letter in the acronym here, I think it's maybe one of the most important ones. Remember to be kind. So to sum this up, the next time somebody says to you, you rock, think about it. Is that true? Am I being resilient? Am I bouncing back or is there some area that maybe I didn't bounce back, that I just kind of didn't recognize and I'm still down and need to maybe jump up and get started again? Am I obligated? Who was my obligation to? Who did I commit to? Is it a family member? Is it a team member? Is it a goal of mine? But review those commitments, review those obligations. Am I plugged in? Am I learning? Am I not the yeah but person, right? I think sometimes we can get in our own ways when you're talking with your coach or taking a class or listening to somebody that has some advice for you, and the brain's always going, yeah, but I've heard that somebody got chased by a dog when they did that, right? Or, yeah, but I heard somebody got fined for doing that, right? Your brain's always going to have the evidence, but stay out of your way, stay plugged in, and remember, a coach is just trying to help you do it better. And then be kind. Whose life did I improve today? Who did I have an impact on today? How did I help somebody today? So if you guys can remember those 4 things, I think it's going to be, this is not a nuts and bolts, hey, here's how to write an agreement of sale, but I think just having that mindset will help you vastly in your business. And I think you're going to hear that theme overall from the panelists today. I think that's one of the things that got them to where they are, because they do rock, and we appreciate them. So I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to let those guys come up here and give you their stories, and I appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you.